One simple LinkedIn messaging framework has helped me close $120,000 in deals. And I'm about to show you exactly how I did it. This LinkedIn strategy has been a game changer for my business and for my clients. So today I'm going to show you the exact messaging that's generated this revenue and has helped others do the same. Also, stay tuned for a free template that I'll be sharing at the end that you can go utilize. And before we go into the video, what's your current success rate with LinkedIn outreach? Drop it in the comments. Now, what we're going to dive into is what is the problem with LinkedIn outreach today. So I'm going to mention a couple common mistakes that I see that you all just need to avoid, right? Because first of all, I'm talking about what to do. You need to figure out what not to do. That's the first step. So the first thing that I see that most people do wrong is they will just copy and paste thing straight from AI. Look, Allen Iverson sometimes can be our friend, but it also could be our enemy. I'm just going to be super 100 with y'all here, okay? So when you're thinking about doing any messaging, don't just go in AI and just say, create me a great email, because it won't know what to do. Bad inputs lead to bad outputs. And so I suggest don't do that. Another mistake that I see is that people will make it all about them. So they'll say, hey, my company was founded in 1886 and we're the leading provider in the software space and we have all these clients that you've never heard of before. Please do not do this. This is not the preamble here, okay? This is very short and concise messaging. So I want y'all to write this down, which is be brief, be brilliant, be gone. That's how you're gonna get messages converted on LinkedIn, and that's what we're going to dive into right now. So those are the things to avoid. What do we want to do to start converting? What happens is most people, the reason that they fail at converting is because of the mindset. Everyone is pitching and connecting and it's just a complete mess. So the shift needs to go from it's all about me to it's all about them. So shout out to a friend and mentor of mine. She always goes, show them that you know them. Now, how we're going to do that is this framework I'm going to dive into right now. So the framework that I have is called the 10-30-10. Now, the goal of this framework is to be a guide and not to be a deterrent. The 10-30-10 stands for the first 10 seconds is the reason why you're actually reaching out. The 30 seconds is your value prop. Why is it relevant for them to meet with you? The last 10 seconds is the call to action. What do you want them to do? What I like to call this is the movie trailer message. Now, the reason we call it that is because think about it. When you are watching a movie trailer, what is the purpose of the movie trailer? The purpose of the movie trailer is to get you to be interested, right, in watching the movie. If you've been in sales for quite some time, or if you just are starting out in sales, you're not looking to close someone on the first message most of the time. Now, some of you may be selling something very transactional, and yes, you might be doing that. But for the most part, you're not going to immediately close someone off the first message. You're just getting them interested enough so they're willing to say, let me see a demo, let me hop on a sales call, or whatever that may be, right? That's all you're inherently looking for at the end of the day. That's it. So that's why this 10-30-10 is a movie trailer message and can be used in all different cross mediums to be successful. Where most people fail is they go into it and they're like, I'm just gonna make up some random message, I'm gonna make it about me, and then I hope they respond. Hope is not a strategy, as one of my mentors used to say, and so that's why we have a concise framework on how to do this. Now, let's talk about the different elements that you can use to do this right. Video, voice, a text. Now, all of these are gonna differ depending on your personality, what region you're selling to, your buyer persona, and what you feel the most comfortable with. I'm giving you all these as suggestions and options to do. I prefer the video if you have to ask. I see that as the highest conversion. I see that at a 40%. Voice messages are at about 35, and then text messages are at about like 20 to 25%. But you might have a completely different strategy based on, again, the factors I just said before. Let's go into video first. So when you're doing a video, first and foremost, I always like to do this again on LinkedIn. You have to be first degree connected to the person you're looking to talk to. So if you're looking for a strategy on that, I have a whole video on how to make sure you can have LinkedIn connection requests. So you can go check that out. But the whole thing that you want to be able to do here is when you do a video, I encourage a couple things. Number one is make sure that you look approachable. The biggest mistake people will make in making a video is they look like they're a troll or a gremlin in the dark. They're like, hey, my name is Morgan and I'm here to, it's like, wait, whoa, like you look crazy. Of course, no one's gonna open that video if you look like you're in the dark and you look like you've been kidnapped. That won't work out for you. So let's not do that. Number two is you wanna always start with the reason for my video. Just like I said in the first 10 seconds of this video, right, the 10-30-10, we have to start with an actual reason of what we're looking to do, right? And so the premise here and the main fallacy is if you just say, hey, my name is Morgan, I'm at this company, you just lost 3 seconds of time. So you want to be able to really narrow down and focus in on that. So that's why you want to start with the reason. Don't start with your name. Don't start with your company. Why? Because at the end of the day, they already know what that is because it's on LinkedIn, so don't even worry about it. Then the next stage of this is make sure that you're in a well-lit place. I always recommend a white background to do your videos. I also recommend to stand when doing your videos because it makes it feel like you're talking to a person and you're standing up and you have better energy. Everyone is going to be different here. That is just my suggestion on what I've seen to work and not work within this reaching out. So let's say that I'm reaching out to Sally, and Sally is a VP of marketing and I'm looking to sell her my influencer marketing services, which is what we do here at AM, right? So let's go into it. The reason for my video is I was browsing on your website and I noticed that you're hiring a demand generation manager. And typically when I see that, that means that there's some interest in doing out of the box content. And so our main focus is we've been working with brands and producing shows with them around influencers that allows them to generate brand awareness and then ultimately generate pipeline. We've seen this to, at the end of the day, lead to $500,000 in pipeline for people we work with in the past 6 months. So curious to see if you're open to learning more, and talk to you soon. That's exactly it, right? I used the first 10 seconds on what is the reason that I'm reaching out. I found a clue that I just mentioned on the website that they're hiring someone, which is, if you're in B2B, that's one of the best things to do. Go see that someone's hiring somebody, go look at the description, get the details, and then mention it to them. Then you notice my value prop. Hey, this is what we're doing. Here's people that we've helped in your industry. I have some tangible results at the end. And then you notice the call to action. I said, hey, if you're interested in this, I asked the question and then I went from there. So when you're doing a call to action, by the way, I typically don't directly ask for time. If you feel like that's for you and you get results, fantastic, do your thing. But I've just found that by asking a question that is relative to what they're working on, that leads into, oh, we're currently leveraging influencer marketing this way, but we're open to a chat and we can go from there. Those are other call to actions that you can have as well. So that's a video. And one of the most important things when you do a video is make sure inside of the video, you give like a quick description. So I would say like, hi Sally, made you a quick video and had a quick question, ... That creates suspense, curiosity, and now people are more willing to actually hear me out. So that's the reason that I do that. So that's the video that you can do. Again, we keep this less than 50 seconds, 10, 30, 10. That's the reason why we say that. We want to keep it less than 50 seconds here because that actually leads into the highest conversion metrics here. So let's go into the voice message. The voice message is the same exact thing. It's literally the same thing. Nothing really changes here except you're just doing a voice message. That's literally it. You're not doing anything else. But with the voice message, we're following the 10, 30, 10 again, less than 50 seconds. Optimally for everybody here, if you can get it 35 seconds, you're on point. I'll say that right now. You're killing it. But A/B test the voice and the video message, but they essentially are the same framework. Again, just different deliveries. Now let's go into the text message. So this effectively is something that you would write. Now, again, I just talked about what not to do. So you already know, don't go down these paths. What we want to do here is it follows the same framework. What is the reason why you're reaching out? What is your value prop and your call to action? So you'll see here on the screen an example of a message that I have sent on LinkedIn that has led to a response and has led to a meeting. And you'll see the breakdown here of exactly how I did it and how you can go about it. Easier to see the visual than me to describe it, but you see exactly here, right? The first 10 seconds, boom, right? I said, here's the reason why I'm reaching out. Now, I didn't say the reason exactly because it's a little bit different here. I just stated an actual reason why I'm reaching out based on a clue that I found. Then you'll see right here, boom, I said, here's the value prop. Here's why I'm reaching out to you. Here's a use case from services that we've already worked with another client on. And then you see here, I have this call to action. These are typically about 2 to 6 sentences. Again, I follow the methodology, be brief, be brilliant, be gone, and you can use these. Now, you can interchange these across the board on how you want to use them. I typically wait 5 to 8 days before I reach out to someone after they connect with me on LinkedIn because I want to give it some time. I want to like their stuff, engage, and then I'll come in with that message that we just talked about. So this differs from conventional approaches because, again, most people are just going through the motions. They're not going to do videos. They're not going to do voice notes. They're not going to do the text messages I just said. They're not going to do these things. The tools that you need for the videos, by the way, is just your phone. You don't need anything crazier than that. Like, just use your phone. You can go use other tools in the market, like a Loom, for example. For sure, you could do that, but I found that by doing the video, it's easier for them just to click it and not have to go to another site. Also, with the voice note, again, you're just doing it right on the phone. super simple. So it's very low tech here. You don't need a lot of investment to get this started. Now, let's go into when is the best time to send these messages. That's probably a question you have right now. Like, Morgan, when is the best time to do this? Please help me. Okay, so one of the biggest mistakes that a revenue professional will make is you'll send the message at the right time. It's all about having the right message to the right people at the right times. You could have a fantastic message, but send it at the wrong time, and they may not see it. Timing is very critical. So how do we solve this? So the best times to send messages before and after the workday, to be fair with you. So everyone's obviously in different local times as you watch this video, but I actually find I will send videos and voice notes before 8 a.m. local time. Why? Because they have more of an opportunity to watch it because they're not in meetings. Even as a founder myself, I don't have time to watch a video or listen to a voice note during the day because there's a lot going on, meetings, whatever that may be, but I can do it before, right? As I prep for the day, I can go check that out real quick because I have the time. So if I would recommend sending it before local 8 a.m. time and then after about 4:30 p.m. That's where I've seen the highest response rates. Two other times that may seem a little bit skew. So I've actually found Friday at 3 or like 2 to 4 p.m. local time, great time. People are going into the weekend, they get a video, you got some good energy, you're relevant, they're more than happy to meet with you. Because right, we're hitting people at their dopamine spots, right? Like I'm going into the weekend, if you are relevant, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm willing to meet with you. And then Sunday between 1 to about 5 p.m. local time, you can even stretch it to 6. Execs are planning for the week, so this is a good time to catch them as they are in their LinkedIn inbox, whatever it is, to reach out. Again, we're primarily on LinkedIn here, but you get the gist. Now, we have the times to send these messages. Let's talk about how to follow up with these people. So when you send a video or a voice note or even a text, what I like to do is 2 different types of follow-ups that I use. But let's talk about the one that I like the most, which is asking for feedback. Now, it's not like I need feedback. It's not like you're a beggar in the streets. You don't want to be like a digital beggar. We don't want that. But what you want to do is 2 to 3 days, you want to follow up with them and say, hi Sally, any feedback on my video? Hi Sally, any feedback on my voice message? Hi Sally, any feedback on my text? This is literally all you're gonna say. This isn't anything crazy, this isn't anything out of pocket. This is just a very simple sentence. This has produced a 55% response rate. Now, I'd say on the positive side, it's about like a 25 to 30% response rate. I'll take that all day long. And some people will respond back and say, not interested. But the goal is feedback is psychologically based. People like to give positive or negative feedback, so I know I'm gonna get a response by asking this sort of thing. So I do that. Now, the second thing that you can do is you can say, based on use cases, and say, hi Sally, recently we worked with a cybersecurity in your space that saw a 2x increase in pipeline conversion when they worked on our influencer marketing services. Thought I would share. So what you're doing there is you're following up with use cases and relevant in their industry to show, hey, I know I pitched you this thing, but we actually have seen relevant use cases here by doing the things that I'm mentioning. So you can also follow up that way. So again, 2 different follow-ups you can A/B test. I always like to give options here. The style is always gonna be different for everybody, so I always go those 2 options, right? So that's how you follow up, and that's when you're gonna know how to do that. I typically tell people more than 3 messages, I say get out of there. So you're gonna do a video, you're gonna do a follow-up, maybe you do like another follow-up, another video, you can do a GIF or GIF if you want for fun. But past 3 messages, it gets into creep land. So if you do more than 3 messages, then you weren't watching this video. You learned this from someone else, right? And then the last bit of this, right, is overcoming objections. You're gonna get not interested, reach out to me in 6 months. When you're dealing with objections, I would actually respond to the objection with a video as well, because they can see your face. It's hard to reject someone when they see your face and you're responding to the objection. So if someone says not interested, I always follow up and say, hey, thanks so much for responding back. What did I say that did not interest you in this? And the reason I say that is because I like to give feedback on what did I miss in the value prop. Maybe I need to improve my value prop. Maybe I didn't explain it well. When people say not interested, sometimes it's just you didn't explain it well. And I've been there myself. I've explained things that people are like, you're just straight Yaposaurus waffle. I don't understand what you said. Okay, I got to get better. So that's why I asked that. Another one on how to handle objections is reach out to me in 6 months, and then I'll say, hey, out of curiosity, what's going to change between now and then in 6 months, right? So now I'm getting context on what has actually changed. Always ask a question in the follow-up. If they don't answer, that's fine, but at least we have to try and do our due diligence here, right? We at least want to be persistent here. That's a way that you can handle those objections. Acknowledge the objection, ask a question, and then you should be good to go. Now, how you want to measure and optimize this, there's a lot of different ways on how to do this, the A/B test this approach. You can use the greatest tech of all time, a spreadsheet. If you have LinkedIn Sales Nav, you actually can save your leads and it can track activity. If you have a sales engagement tool, you can also use the track activity. Everyone here is gonna have a different method. I'm just telling you, make sure that you track what's working and what's not. Everything I'm shared with you today, this messaging framework on how I've been able to close that amount of deals and again, do the same for other people, is based on A/B testing. There are things that absolutely don't work. And I just told you, hey, these things don't work. The things that don't work, I actually done before and I know they don't work. So don't go down that path. I'm just sharing with you over A/B testing thousands and hundred thousands of messages. This is what works and what lands with people. And the goal is to continuously improve your message over time so that you can see those results, right? Essentially, again, you're gonna see each time that you schedule a meeting, I also want you to attribute that to how much pipeline and things that get you, and make sure that you avoid the pitfalls that I just said, right? So to help you implement this strategy, I've created the 120K LinkedIn messaging template. So just comment below LinkedIn. That's all I gotta do. Comment below LinkedIn, and I will share that template with you directly, and also it will be in the description for you to check out as well. So it includes the exact framework, what I'm doing. It also has the videos and the voice notes all in there so that you can listen to them and then go execute this on LinkedIn. So go check it out in the description. The 120K framework is in there for you. So ultimately, at the end of the day, this is all about providing value and starting meaningful conversations that lead to real business opportunities. Start using this approach today. Message me on LinkedIn, hit me up there, and watch your LinkedIn success soar. So if you found this valuable, hit like and subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you all in the next one.